Friends of my family actually owned a comic book store up on campus. So I grew up, running around a comic book store. Then I had a babysitter when I was younger who we'd stay up late nights and watch Fritz the Night Owl when he'd show old science fiction and horror movies. First year I saw an ad for it, which wasn't the first year of it. My dad wouldn't let me go because I was like 11. The next year I got my babysitter, who wasn't really my babysitter anymore, but he had been. He was 18, senior in high school. I got him to say that he'd go and keep an eye on me. And so that was the first year I went. It was actually the horror marathon I went to first, and then I went to the sci-fi marathon that spring. And then I've just been going ever since. I get there really early in the morning, between 6 or 7 in the morning. Just because I have a large group of friends who come and I want to make sure I can get seats for all of us together. And because if I'm going to be in the same seat for 24 hours, I want it to be a seat I'm going to be comfortable in. But it's cool because there's a group of people who pretty much every year the same 8, 9, 10 of us are there at 6 in the morning. So it's a chance to catch up with friends who I only see once or twice a year. It's probably safe to say that most of us are a little nerdy. You've got to have a little bit of that geek vibe to you to want to watch 24 hours worth of science fiction movies. But that said, it's people from all walks of life. I mean, there's still kids and teenagers like I was when I started going there. There are people in their 20s, 30s, 40s. People bring their kids. When I started going, I was 13. Now I'm 30, and I have 2 kids of my own, and I'm already thinking that, in a few years, when they're a little older, I'm looking forward to taking them at least for part of the marathon. Yeah, I mean, it's all walks of life, but yeah, most of us are probably a little nerdy. I always bring a book and a Game Boy or Palm Pilot or something for those slow periods while I'm in line. Then there's toothbrush and deodorant, because you're going to be in that movie theater for 24 hours and the people near you will thank you if you use your toothpaste and deodorant so that you don't stink. Then I like to dress for comfort. I usually wear a former year's t-shirt to the marathon. I bring a sweatshirt, but don't wear it for most of the marathon. Just sometimes the temperature gets wonky in the theater. It goes from blazing hot to freezing cold in the space of one movie. Found a pair of sweatpants to bring that have pockets, so I can, keep my money and my movie ticket in there and not have to deal with jeans that, when you're sitting in them for 20 hours or so, the creases start to wear into your pants and start getting uncomfortable. And then I always bring a pillow and a blanket. Not planning to sleep, but just for comfort. And then, of course, my marathon movie ticket, because you need that.
Right.
There's the seat issue. I mean, movie theaters' seats were not meant to be sat in for 24 hours. There's temperature issues because the temperature just doesn't stay anywhere near constant. So you want to, dress in layers. You want to be able to put something else on or strip down to another layer. There's sleep, obviously. You start seeing a lot of people in their seats nodding off after midnight. One that sneaks up on people is eating right. A lot of people will, they'll think, okay, well, I'm going to eat junk food or popcorn and soda all night long. And, that ends up killing you about 4 o'clock in the morning. When I started going to the marathons, a lot of these movies weren't available. Either on, DVDs didn't even exist. And a lot of films weren't released on video, so either you caught them by watching, late night movies or by going to the marathon. But now it's a community thing. I mean, yeah, I can watch pretty much any film on the lineup at home on a big screen TV, on my couch, in my pajamas. But I wouldn't have that communal vibe, that enjoyment of watching it with 300, 400, 500 like-minded individuals.